Так, сам знову туди. Таке, а технет покричуємо. Так, ми достали до нової локації, поки по-моєму тут справді. Там ми промовились ніяким новим хлапом. І прояснім.
Father had a similar toolbox, back when he still fixed things around the house.
Я тоді ніц не можу взяти.
Probably didn't look much better before the storm. Must be hard.
Там є ще було ніяке авто. Чи то є? А що? Не. Так, є тут цеста з падкою.
A sturdy enough vessel, if you trust your swimming skills. I can see why Rory likes this place. This view should ease even the most troubled soul. Почки, смысл врать или не? Йо, привіт, так. Я ж типу дивився на то небо. Воно ніяке дивне. Locked with a padlock. Andrew will have a key, but I'm not keen on waiting for his return. Locked with a padlock. Andrew will have a key, but I'm not keen on waiting for his return. I've seen this before. In the painting. This is the grave I saw in that waking dream or whatever it was. The grave my father buried something in as a boy. Who's buried here? If I could just... these vines are too thick. I need something to cut through these. I need something to cut through
No,
these.
ale kde je to? Vezmu. Počkej, a jsi z toho chlápa, který tady opravuje něco? Tak počkej, já nemůžu jít.
Nobody left to mourn the dead or care for their graves, it seems. Rory's tools. A hammer, a tenon saw, a bolt cutter.
Jo, tam je katr, tak můžeme vzít.
Rory's tools. A hammer. When you talked about what they did to my father, what did you mean?
You shouldn't have come back. You can't go through what he did as a bairn and no be sick.
So his hospitalization was justified then?
Not for me to say. Before you think of putting down roots here, you should think on what the poison grown here did to your father. You can?
No, not really. You wouldn't have to have a chapel key, would you?
Ain't set a foot in there for years, and I don't intend to either.
That'll be a no then. The graveyard. Is it a family plot?
Aye. No matter how high and mighty, all the Gordons end up there.
A cheery thought. It's a shame we do not have the means to properly care for the graves.
Why bother? 'Tis bones and food for worms.
May I borrow your bolt cutter?
Maybe. If I ken what you need it for.
The graves. I would like to tidy them up. That way I can pay my respects properly.
Is that a fact? Why's that then?
They are my family. They deserve to be remembered.
Fair enough, laddie. Just grab it yourself, will ye?
Better. Cecilia Shaw Nee Gordon. Aunt Cecilia. Now, let's see if there's something really buried in here. Another piece of the castle model.
Je to klíč, nebo...
Another part of the model. And it's stained with what seems to be old blood. Why did Father bury this when he was a child? Another part of the model. And it's stained with what seems to be old blood. Why did Father bury this when he was a child? How could I have known that something was buried here? I don't remember Father ever telling me about this grave. Father must have buried the chapel piece here for a reason when he was a boy. But why? And whose blood is it stained with? hope you found your peace. Were you sick, like they say you were? Or the victim of this curse? This curse of the Gordons? Whatever it is, I think you may have passed it on to me.
Так, момент. Я tady chci se podívat ještě na něco. Tak jo, v pohodě. Tak. Ale já nevím, co budeme tady hledat.
Being the chronicle of the family Gordon, as laid down by Sir Drummond Gordon, the year of our Lord, 1413.
Local legend speaks of this particular glen as being inhabited from time immemorial. Enigmatic, elaborately carved Pictish stones stand as timeless evidence of this. As for the locals, they appear prideful of the counsel they delight in giving to visitors. Traveler, beware. The Celtic peoples arrived in this place like a great beast, bringing with them the bloodlines that would eventually spawn the Gordon clan. Using their superior numbers, knowledge, and machines of war, they swiftly conquered the primeval Picts. With them, they brought too their religion and druid clerics. The magics these wise men used did shape forever the lands, even until this present day. It is said that the sempiternal burden our family carries rose at that time. 'Tis well recorded how the Empire of Rome did fail to tame the wayward Scots, that they did even raise a barrier to protect their mighty empire. What is seldom told is the truth behind their defeat. Our ancestors drew upon ancient powers to aid their victory, powers not easily fathomed by the fragile human mind. This aid did come at the greatest of costs, a debt as yet unsettled, a price we will continue to pay until the last Gordon passes to dust. For the centuries, we Gordons made the land our own. Others did bow to us, as we kept the secrets of Skahandu, the secrets of the Black Mirror. Even as tragedy and madness did fester in our foundations, we held fast and steered the land through vile English attack and worse. In time, the Gordons and the land became one.
Some pages have been ripped out. The only thing left seems to be some kind of family oath.
In blood we are bound to the land we protect, to the truths we alone may conceal. I shall forfeit my life, lest my clan should suffer. I shall forfeit my spirit to hold the darkness at bay. In blood we are bound till the day of the reckoning.
What on earth? Where's the call coming from?
Почекай, там є něco. Ale já nechápu, odkud je to. A, jo, už vidím.
Is this what madness feels like? It can't be real.
Počkej, jsme ve vodě? Jo, právě tak.
All this looks like the bottom of a lake.
Tak ale nechápu, co se děje.
What are you trying to show me?
Jaké тіло? Так є ще одно. Так, почки, я не хапу, це вам тоді делать.
I feel like I've missed something.
Ну, але
I feel like I've missed something.
то це не подальшила. Окей, скусимо є ще одну. Ну, але як? Ти застала? Таке скіла. Але проч. Найс, tady ještě existuje Keymover. To je dobrá zpráva. Tak ale co jsem tady dělal?
Being the
Tak jsme tohle už četli.
Tis well. How this or in
Tak co ještě tady jsem dělal?
let I to in
No, já nemůžu tady proskýpat.
Is this what...
Tak já můžu tady dát safe.
This looks like the bottom of a lake.
Tak. Právě tady, ne?
What are you trying to
Tak za prvé jsme byli tady. Tak počkej. Tak jo, ať pokračujeme.
She's not holding a baby, but some heavy object to weigh herself down.
Tak stihneme to.
There's a fresh wound across her stomach. The figure up there must be Edward. A note. I'm taking my baby with me to save it from this rotten family.
Find my child! you all right?
Did you see her? She drowned.
Calm down, you're in shock. What were you doing clambering about in here?
If I told you, you'd think me mad.
Odd. That is just what your father said to me.
What? Who are you?
My name is Dr. Leah Farber. I treated your father at the asylum.
The asylum?
Let's get you back to the castle and make sure you are all right.
What did you come here for?
I'm not sure your father's story is finished yet, and there are some things I still need to make my peace with.
What's this about an asylum?
As I said, your father was admitted.
Why? Who did that to him?
I did. But unfortunately, he managed to escape.
What? Hold on a minute. How dare you come in here and...
Told you? Your father was a madman. A complete and utter madman. Don't mind me. Please continue.
Well, what right did you have to lock my father up in a madhouse?
I was his doctor. I understand you are in shock, but you have no right to speak to me in such a way. I was trying to help him.
He's dead. Capital job.
Now, hold on just a minute.
Co se děje znovu?
Oh, Jesus! Oh, no! No!
Počkej, je to ta žena, která chtěla nám něco říct? What's going on? Tak, ukončili jsme už tu druhou kapitolu.
Eddie, it'll be all right. Pull yourself together.
I suggest nobody else goes down there. We should keep the room intact until the police can get here.
I shall alert them first thing in the morning. What an unfortunate accident.
An accident? You think so? Just after the madman's son turned up at our door.
And yet you were the one standing over her body with blood on your hands.
How dare you? I was too late. I was trying to help her. She...
There, my sweet boy. Let's get you to bed. Angus, would you?
Of course, ma'am.
I think we will all benefit from a good night's sleep.
Jak mohou
I
spát?
know you may have no reason to, but I need you to trust me. I'm the only one on your side when it comes to your father's death.
Lady Margaret certainly isn't. But if I told you what I saw in the chapel, you'd have me in a padded cell, just like my father. Why did you come here? To make sure my father was successfully in the ground?
With all due respect, Mr. Gordon, I will not allow you to speak to me or about my work in such a tone. I tried everything I could to aid your father. Your father was heavily drugged when he was brought to me, to prevent any further violent outburst, or so Lady Margaret had said. But something felt wrong, even then.
So, what was my father like when you locked him up?
I didn't just lock him up. I tried to help him. He was convinced he was carrying some ancient curse, that he was being haunted by evil. I wish I had reached him, had been able to reach him.
Maybe if I threw you a bone, you'd get off my back. Father was obsessed with the history of the family for as long as I can remember.
Did your father actually believe his family was out to get him?
Who knows? I think what scared him was beyond the physical. He used to babble about a dark force threatening him and our family.
Was that why he moved you to India? To get as far away as possible?
I believe so.
And yet, here you are, in the very place he sought to protect you from.
Who knows? Maybe there is an ancient evil in this place. An evil that drags us back no matter how far away we get. Even from the other side of the world.
And what do you think? Was your father right? Are there things beyond the physical?
No, I say dismiss entirely.
He was a disturbed man. He saw things that weren't there. Things like a drowning woman floating in thin air. If you really want to help me, then let us find out what the maid knew. She was hiding something, but was too scared of Angus and Margaret to tell me.
You think whatever she wanted to confide might be connected to her death?
Maybe. Whatever I saw in the chapel, it has to be real. It has to be. A woman must have drowned herself in the loch. Because if it's all in my mind, like father, like son.
We need to examine the maid's body in the cellar.
To find out who killed her.
To be sure she was murdered before we start pointing fingers.
Rory's not one for cleaning up after himself.
No, asi tady nic zajímavého nebude, to byla chyba jít tady. Nebo počkej. Asi měli jsme jít do jiné části budovy.
What is it?
I'll get you back.
Stop monkeying around. Come with me.
I'll come inside in a bit.
Don't go.
Can I just have a few
It's
more
not a request, Carol.
Don't worry. I'll be fine.
What's happening to me?
David? Is everything all right?
We should make haste.
We need to examine the maid's body in the cellar.
To find out who killed her.
To be sure she was murdered before we start pointing fingers.
No tak jo, ať se vrátíme.
We need to
To find out.
To be sure.
Tak, asi dělám něco špatného. A já nepamatuju, jak se vrátit do toho místa, kde byli jsme. Tak ne, počkej, to je už něco špatného. Tak jo, zaprvé ať jdeme znovu venku. A tam zkusíme se vrátit do kuchyně. Tak ale já nechápu. Jak já můžu se vrátit do kuchyně? To je fakt divná věc. Jo, já tomu nerozumím. Teď ještě budu muset najít tu kuchyni. Skvěle. Tak. Počkej, já si chápu, kam musím jít. Так, а teď jenom zajímá mě, jak jsme dostali do nějaké divné části toho domu. Já to fakt nechápu. Jak to funguje? Jo, teď jsme znovu venku a teď já jdu zpátky. A teď budeme znovu v jiné části budovy. Skvěle. Nice. А teď, если я потребую se vrátit do kuchyni, tak já musím znovu jít tou cestou dlouhou.
I guess we'll have the key. Unless we can find another way in.
We need to examine the... to be sure.
Tak ale jak dostat?
I guess we'll have the key. Unless we can find another way in.
A jo, asi chápu, jak můžeme dostat. Tady mám jeden nápad. A můžeme jít
I think I might have an idea how to
právě
get into
tady.
the cellar, but I'm not sure you'll like it.
If it involves this filthy dumbwaiter, don't even think about it.
I can't fit in there, and I see no other way into the cellar.
You're asking me to put a lot of trust in you, given the circumstances.
I'm not crazy like my father, if that's what you think.
I don't think anything yet, because I don't know you.
You can trust me, and I will do my very best to learn to trust you.
All right then. Clothes can be washed. Lovely. Pull me back up!
Co se stalo?
I need something to open the doors from the inside once I'm down there.
This should do it.
We need to examine
To find out.
to be sure. Going down.
Good luck.
See you in a minute.
Dr. Farber. Is everything all right? Leah!
Oh, if anything's happened to her.
You needn't worry about me. I've been to stranger places than this castle. Follow me.
They seem to be a house full of carnivores.
What a horrific way to die. Her neck's been broken, and with some considerable force, it seems. Her necklace looks like gold, albeit a plain design. And it's missing any form of pendant.
Still, well beyond a maid's salary. It...
Where's that sudden draft coming
Your
from?
stag is here, my little doe.
Little doe? Not exactly the usual way to address the staff. Her clothes. He ripped a seam open. The missing pendant. He threw it into the blood-filled basin.
We're all here, sir. All down in the dark. Something's coming. The attic, sir. She's in the attic.
What just happened? You look like you were in some kind of trance.
Perhaps the lack of sleep is affecting me. Or the visions that you think me insane if I describe them to you.
You need to learn to trust me. I am on your side, remember?
So you say. But I remember you locked my father up too. A tiger can't change its stripes. The scene really did...
Ugh, that's horrible.
You're not the one with your hand in it. French. I don't speak French.
I do. It says for Clara, forever yours. Who's Clara?
I don't know. Yet another relative, perhaps?
We should ask someone who's been around here for longer. How did you know it was there? The pendant, I mean.
If I told you, you wouldn't believe me.
A hunch. Eddie gave this to her. We should ask him to his face just what his relationship was with her.
This isn't another ghost story, is it?
Look, you wouldn't understand. I can't...
What I do understand is that we could not accuse a man of murder without proof.
Tak można tady ještě něco se objeví. Tady ještě byl jelen, nebo... Jak se to jmenuje? Так, почки, а прочно можем и совратить. Я тогда не хапу це еште можу уделать. Почки, ні, це було тоді. Займа мені це є в тому... як це то називає? In the chapel. Англійське слово. Я ще тоді працюю.
Do you know who Clara was?
I know who she was, aye.
And?
Young Eddie is her bairn. Lady Mallory as she was. She stayed on in the house after Victor passed, but she wasn't here much before. I didn't ken her that well.
I'll speak to you later, Rory.
Aye, I'm sure you will, laddie.
Are you convinced yet?
We need more than a first name.
I have to thank you again for coming to my aid in there.
I'm glad I found you in time. Thankfully, Mr. Harrison had made an educated guess as to your whereabouts.
If you'd just like to wait out here, sir.
I need to speak with Eddie.
The young master and her ladyship are otherwise detained.
May I remind you, this is my house?
May I remind you that it is not yours yet?
Might as well try moving a mountain out of the way. Fair enough. There's no doubt about his loyalty, nor with whom it lies. If Eddie really gave her that pendant, he might be her killer, and I might not be losing my mind. There's no doubt about his loyalty. Nobody in this house is particularly chatty, not even when I have an actual question for them. If Eddie really gave her that pendant, he might be her killer, and I might not be losing my mind. The belongings of Eddie's mother. Recognize that?
The necklace. Is that...
A young Eddie and his mother Clara.
I regret to inform you that your husband, Corporal Victor Mallory, number 874511, was killed in action with the enemy on the day of the 14th of September in Ypres. Your husband was involved in an advance against enemy lines. While he and his fellow soldiers fell, the action was successful, and you can take comfort in knowing his sacrifice saved many lives. It was not possible to get his remains away, and he was buried in a soldier's grave. Please accept the condolences of all the company. Yours, Captain Arthur Jones, 4th Army.
Thank you for your last letter. My heart soars with every word of yours I read. I touch the ink and imagine your fingers are just inches from mine, that we can almost touch, that I can almost feel the warmth of your skin once more. Young Edward grows more like his father each day. You'd be amazed how he shares your looks. I long for the day that this terrible war is ended and you return home to us, so we can be a family once more. I shall write to you again soon. Know that until then you are always in our hearts. Your loving wife, Clara.
The date. She was writing this when the death notice arrived. Oh, the poor woman.
Tak jsem znovu tady. Ale já nechápu, co teď musíme najít. Можно ještě zkusím se podívat do svého pokoje, jestli tam něco nového se objevilo. Ale tady je malá pravděpodobnost. Tak asi tady.
Do I need anything from in there right now? Don't think so. Do I need it? You see? The necklace was his mother's. He gave it to the maid. The maid!
You're right. We need to speak to him about this. But how could you know this? I can't help you if you don't tell me.
Cousin Eddie might be a murderer. How I draw my conclusions can wait for now.
Tak počkej, tak teď musíme se vrátit zpátky. Ale proč oni nemohli mezi sebou promluvit hned? Ten okamžik, když zjistili, že ta věc byla její matky. Já tomu občas nechápu, nerozumím. Tak, teď já nepamatuju, kam mám jít. Tak asi bude tady.
Eddie, I need to ask you about the maid. About Ailsa.
You didn't know her!
I know that you and her were... That is to say, I know you had feelings for her.
What? That's poppycock! You're as deranged as your father was!
David, really? You go too far with this behavior.
The police will be here soon. Would you not prefer to clear this up before they get here in case they link Eddie with a crime?
Now look here, young lady. How dare you speak?
That's enough. Eddie. My little doe. Strange thing to call the help.
How? It was just harmless fun, that's all.
Her clothing was ripped, as if someone was trying to force themselves upon her.
I would never have hurt her.
You gave her this. It was your mother's.
I did. It was.
Eddie!
I was just trying to cheer her up. She has nothing, and I had no need of it. You know she sends... You know she sent most of her money home to her grandmother.
You're a worthless liar. You think she thought being pressed against a dead animal was harmless fun?
How do you know? It's true. Ailsa and I would never have laid a finger on her. We were in love. I helped her with everything. Even with her chores. Rose and...
That's quite enough. Eddie, you are obviously upset. And you are not helping, David. Angus, will you please take the young master upstairs?
As you say, Mom.
I think you have caused quite enough disruption here. We shall settle this heritage dilemma first thing tomorrow.
I don't think so. I have more questions now than ever. About my father, the maid, this whole damn house!
Have a care, David. Need I remind you of your father's temper?
I would never.
Given the current mental state of Master Eddie, who should be a part of the heritage considerations, any discussion on the topic would be futile at this point. Would you not agree?
Thank you, Leah. Maybe it's a good thing you're here after all.
Impudent brats!
What's going on?
Did you notice when Margaret got angry?
When Eddie mentioned... What was it? Chores involving a rose. What does that mean?
Something about the garden, perhaps? We could ask Rory. Or is it about the attic? Oh, I wonder. Whatever it is, it's something she doesn't want us to know.
The attic?
I saw the maid coming down the stairs with a tray. But there's nothing up there but an empty room.
Interesting.
Так, co tady se bíle? Так я знову musím zjistit nějaké nové věci. Tak jo, teď musíme jít venku, abychom promluvili s tím chlapem.
You see? The necklace...
You're right. But how could you...
Cousin Eddie.
Maybe once I found out what really happened to Father here, I can finally talk to my family and staff about some lighter topics. Nobody in this... Maybe once...
Почекай, але з ким я мусим промовити? Я тому не розумів. Так, скусим id úplně nahoru.
I've read enough to know Edward was a dead...
No tak tady nic. Mám ještě jeden nápad. Jsme dostali nějaký nový klíč, tak možná budeme moct ho používat. Tak, ty dveře jsou tady. Tak tady nic nového.
Not like this.
Tak počkej, ale kde já musím použít tu... Tak, jsme dostali model, ale kde já musím tu model používat? Teď já tomu fakt nerozumím. Так я тому ж факт не хапу. Не розумів. Так я се подивам уж та Google. Факт. Я вас понять хапу. Где имелся быт. Так а теперь же мы...
Oh, stunning. How curious. Come and look at this.
Так, а где?
Look, they form a clear circle.
This can't be a fluke.
Well, looks like one of the stones is missing.
A heavy enough stone to weigh yourself down with. You see? The necklace was his mother's. He gave it to the maid. The maid!
You're right. We need to speak to him about this. But how could you know this? I can't help you if you don't tell me.
Cousin Eddie might be a murderer. How I draw my conclusions can wait for now. Something's carved into each one. I've never seen a rose like this before.
I have. The gardener, Rory. He brought some down from the glass house.
Так, ну але спонь провітить ділами ніц вжитичного. Нещо було на зачатку. Так, teď budeme mluvit s tím chlapem, který je venku.
That's an unusual looking rose. I noticed one lying by the side of the loch.
Aye, that's been me. A flower for the flower of Scahandu, Cecilia.
My aunt? They're for her.
I grew 'em for her. She loved the roses, did Cecilia. No the red ones, though. Made her think of blood, ye ken.
Forgive me, but wouldn't it be more fitting to place them on her grave?
Why, she's no there, is she, laddie? That's not where she rests. And I don't much stand by your modern god.
Rory, what happened to her? What happened to Cecilia?
I'm not in the mood to open old wounds, laddie.
There are some strange markings carved into the stones on the shore.
Runes, aye. I'm old-fashioned, I suppose. Still hold to the old ways.
Superstitions don't gain validity just by being believed in for a long time.
I'd watch that. Your precious science doesn't have all the answers, lassie.
May I have some of the roses, Rory? I'd like to place them on Cecilia's grave.
What's she to you? You didn't ken her.
No, I didn't. But she's family. And besides, Father always spoke fondly of her. He would even smile as he talked about playing in the gardens with her as a child.
He did he? Aye, well, that's good to ken. I should have some left in the glass house.
I'll speak to you later, Rory.
Aye, I'm sure you will, laddie.
You see?
But...
Cousin Ed.
Sorry, lassie, but you can't go in. It's for family only.
Just hold on a moment.
No, it's okay. I quite understand. You go ahead, and I'll wait here for you. If I must.
Aye, you must.
Короче, знову... А, окей. Даже тоді доставаємо на нову локацію. Хотів сам уложити гру.
I know, it doesn't look like I have green fingers.
Я привітати можу.
Can you tell me about Cecilia? What was she like?
She was a lovely lassie, but she had more than her share of troubles.
Grandfather Edward.
You ken well enough, son.
You said she wasn't in her grave.
Aye, that I did, that I did.
Did she drown?
She did. Killed herself. Her body was never found. Now all I have of her is my memories. And they are not what they were. And this.
Are these...
Aye, Cecilia's roses.
They're beautiful.
I like to think so.
But they seem to be the only thing that grows here.
Так.
Looking to break some more locks, laddie.
That is exquisite. Cecilia made this.
She made it, aye. For me. Girl must have cut her fingers 100 times doing it. On the thorns, ye ken.
Ага, тоді знову мами ніякі проблеми. Так, а тоді знову Асі буде си дієт. Něco šíleného.
You are unworthy of the name Gordon.
Get away from her, you coward!
Cože? Aha, tak neměl jsem jít tak blízko.
Can you tell me?
Fakt, já znovu musím promluvit?
Aye, that
Did she...
look into bricks.
That...
Počkej. Ne, já nemůžu uložit hru. Tak, ani teď.
You are
Get away from her, you coward!
Ne. Tak teď я můžu něco dělat. Ne, je to už pozdě. Tak to bylo blízko. Tam něco nemá. Počkej. Tak počkej, cože? Jsem skoro stichal.
Look.
That...
You are
Так, почки, але як я можу це подівати?
monster!
Who is that old woman? It
Ага,
takes
так,
courage to
окей.
confront Edward like that.
Почки, почки. Ну, але то було вже близько. Та то часть гри якби уповнення не баві мені, але сподні як покричуємо з тим. І то шкода, що я не можу уложити гру по тих діалогах. По тих діалогах.
That is...
Камон. Так, а teď zkusím ještě jednou.
You are unwelcome.
You monster!
Who is that old woman? It takes courage to confront Edward like that.
А, ні, я ж типа кричав. Так, можна я мусим запровадить до той жени? Почки, я то скусим. Это уж поздно. Так, скусим быть тады. Yeah, finally.
Who did?
Але проч не було тады. Ten muž nedovolil jí být tady.
I saw an old lady. She wore a long, flowing dress. Her voice was strong, determined.
Sounds like Rosemary. She was Lady Margaret's mother.
What just happened?
I could ask you the same thing. You started to talk to yourself. And then you were throwing your arms about like you were fighting something. I couldn't see what. You started bawling and the lassie came in to see what was going on. She tried to settle you, but you just went for her.
Was Cecilia not able to have children? Did that anger Grandfather Edward?
Maybe you can see well enough too, son. Maybe you can. It wasn't her, it was her husband. He was the bother. Couldn't, you ken?
I think so, yes.
Aye, well, Edward blamed Cecilia for it. For picking the wrong man for her mate. You'll be fine, laddie. You just need some fresh air.
Так, я ж будемо мусити промовити з тою женою. Почки, можна я ще něco tady? Jo, právě.
The crack is right there. Edward was furious. Seems like him and great-grandmother Rose didn't see eye to eye. The secateurs should be... Here they are. How could I know? This seems awfully accurate for a forgotten memory. These are... dead as dodos.
Hard to raise anything beautiful here, ever since Cecilia's gone. Trust your instincts, laddie.
David, are you all right?
Am I all right? I should be asking you. I'm so sorry I hurt you. I don't know what happened.
Don't worry. I faced much worse in the asylum.
She's tough. I don't think it's possible to face her. Sorry again.
Maybe don't leave me outside like a naughty puppy next time.
Yes, quite. I feel like the madness that runs through this family, through these walls, is starting to seep into me too.
I can help you, but you need to open up. You need to start talking to me.
You would not believe me if I told you.
Stubborn, just like your father.
I think that Edward may be responsible for the death of my Aunt Cecilia. Not directly. She drowned herself in the loch. I think that Edward drove her to it.
Old families usually have a skeleton or two in the cupboard.
Yes, but my family has a graveyard full. Whatever secret this family is hiding, it's costing lives. Cecilia, the maid, my father. We have to put a stop to this. We need to find out what happened to the maid tonight.
What is it, David?
I have to see.
David, wait! You have to start confiding in me, David. What are you seeing?
I think I'm seeing ghosts. Ghosts of those who have died here. I see my father as a child. He's trying to communicate with me.
Perhaps you visited here as a child. Maybe you're remembering stories your father told you of this place when you were young.
You see? I said you wouldn't believe me. If I'm only remembering things, how would I have known where to find a pendant? How could I have known he tried to force himself on her? Unless you think I killed her.
I don't think you killed anyone, David. And you're right. I can't explain it.
So?
So, we focus on the facts as we know them.
Go on.
You saw the maid's body. Her neck was broken. That was the work of a human, not a ghost, yes?
I suppose so, yes.
Lady Margaret knows more than she's saying, that's for sure.
Godspeed getting anything out of that old hag.
No, I know. But Eddie might be an easier option.
Yes. Yes, we need to find him. And make sure Margaret isn't there to interrupt.
I believe she's already gone to bed, but I'll check. You go find Eddie.
Але Асі до останнього не було на патик, не було на вікенди. А так už bohužel musím běžet, tak jestli je tady ještě někdo, tak děkuji za sledování. Mějte se hezky a ahoj.